Hello there, my beautiful friends. How are you? Welcome back to Sacred Knowledge Tarot. I am so happy and excited to have each and every one of you here with me in this collective space today. So, thank you, everyone. Let's go ahead and call in spirit. Now, I meant to deliver this message to you before midnight. And it's not the midnight that's behind you, it's the midnight that is in front of you. So these messages are coming in as an activation for you, okay? So you're going to go through a major shift tonight. This is an energetic shift, and this is what you need to hear before it happens. All right, so we are going to start with a surrender card. What is it that you need to release or surrender in your life right now? So we are getting here, surrender to your full power. Spirit is calling you to surrender to your full power. Now, some of you might resonate with the image of this card. The lion is showing up as your animal guide. Some of you may have been seeing a lion somewhere in your life. It's a confirmation, and I feel that you are going to see a lion somewhere. Even the name lion is coming up as a confirmation. And this is the energy of the spirit warrior. This is what's being activated and awakened within you. So your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. This message has been coming up quite a bit here in my readings, and I feel this is why it's coming up again as a collective. Okay, so your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. You're meant to play big here, everyone. And I feel now is the time that you're being called to rise, to surrender to your full power and unleash that in the world. Allow your soul to roar. Spirit is saying, allow your soul to roar. Okay, so 3 tarot cards here. So we are starting with the 4 of Cups. So this is an energy that is a little bit slower. It doesn't move. It takes its time, but sometimes it kind of gets stuck in a rut. So this is where Spirit is recharging you. They're showing me a lawnmower that they're trying to pull and start. I don't know if any of you have those kind of lawnmowers, but it's starting now and they're able to mow the lawn. This is what they're showing me with the 4 of Cups. So it's an energy that is being activated. We have the Queen of Cups here as well. So this is a beautiful energy of focus. This is something that you are meant to nurture, is your mental scape. What are the thoughts that you're thinking? What are your dreams? What are your fears? What are these things that are floating around in your mind all the time? Right? Spirit is wanting you to tend to your mental garden. Okay, ground and root yourself and take care of your physical body. Focus on nourishing and replenishing your soul. So Queen of Swords and the 4 of Swords, we got double 4s here. You are not meant to give up. You are not meant to retreat. You are not meant to settle. Just so many different words that are coming in here for you, but they're asking you to rise up. There's a call to rise, and tonight at midnight, there's an activation that is happening. Some of you have been feeling something already. You've been sensing it within you, and you're about to break free. I'm getting someone, they're showing me the image of the 8 of Swords, and there's a woman that is tied up and blindfolded, and she has swords around her. And this is an energy that is activating the part of you that is able to see and take action. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing here with this. So the 4 of Swords, and you are guided right now. You are divinely guided. Now, I want you to use your own intuition with my reading today. So whenever you see my cards popping up on screen, I want you to try and interpret them using your own intuition. This is going to strengthen your intuition, and you will also receive your own messages. And I love it when you share with me how these cards show up for you in your own life. So share with me in the comment section below. All right, so you are not giving up here, Spirit says. You are surrendering. This is what I'm getting here. Wow. Surrendering to your full power. So there's a full circle energy that is present here within this spread. And before I begin here, I just wanted to mention that we all live a different life experience. These cards are going to present themselves differently in each of our lives. This is also a general reading for you today. So those of you that are watching, if my reading isn't resonating for you, please leave it behind, but also pass it along to someone that might need to hear its message. So, yeah, something incredibly powerful is happening here. Once you surrender, you have now stepped into this power, and spirit is coming together here to support and guide you. This is what the wolves are. So, the wolves are coming in as spirit animals for you, along with the lion. Okay, and you have a connection to water. You have to move into the energy of darkness in order to connect with something. I feel this is your light. Sometimes we have to go into the darkness, into the void, into that space of not knowing, right? And allow ourselves to surrender to that power that, and I feel it happens to us naturally. Those of us that have went through this process, this breakthrough, can share with us what that experience was for you in your material world, also your spiritual world, right? And this is where spirit wants us to ground ourselves. Now, some of you might feel like you're in the in-between. Maybe life is a little bit slow or stagnant. Perhaps what you desire to experience hasn't come into your life yet, right? And you're kind of in limbo, waiting, maybe even losing faith or hope around it, and maybe there's nothing around you that is confirming that this energy that you are trying to create is actually coming in. Spirit is letting you know that it is coming in. So whatever weight, worry, stress, whatever it is that you're carrying that is heavy on you, they want you to release it, and they want you to stand up in your power. I'm getting some of you that don't feel like doing something, or maybe you don't have energy, or you're not feeling motivated or inspired. It's almost like you have all these dreams and these plans, and getting started or staying on top of them kind of feels like a drag, or the passion burns out, or you don't have a routine or something that is allowing you to stay in that energy and in that flow. And I feel there's a rhythm and a flow that is available for you that is connected to who you truly are. So this is where I'm going to share with you in my own life, my day-to-day life. I have a schedule, a routine, a ritual. And I get up and I have a morning meditation. I spend an hour getting ready, moving through the energies of my readings and connecting with my cards, connecting with spirit, with the collective before I start filming. I have a whole flow that I'm in. And when I wake up in the morning, I don't allow my emotions to override what I'm trying to do. So sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, I don't feel motivated. Like, I don't feel inspired. Like, I just feel like I shouldn't do it today. Maybe I'll just wait till tomorrow. Or I feel like just watching a movie or vegging, or whatever the reason is. Sometimes I do have these feelings, right? And I don't listen to them. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Like, I just don't care it's my ego. I just think of it as another person. I think of it as the lazy me. I just give it a visual or something that I can then be able to keep outside of my boundary. That's kind of how I work with it. So this is where spirit wants you to create a rhythm and a flow, and not allow these external emotions, parts of your ego that are trying to keep you safe, right? It's you trying to get out of your comfort zone, right? So I'm seeing some of you doing this in many different ways. Like, I don't know if you have recently started exercising, and you're just not feeling motivated to do that. Maybe you're wanting to lose weight, but you're not motivated to go and exercise and change your diet for whatever reason. Like, we have many reasons why or why not we don't do the things that we do, because of the many reasons of why.
I think I'll just go to another country and another culture, but probably going to start a multi-day fast. We'll see if I go. Normally I do 4 or 5 days. Maybe I'll go from Monday to Friday. Just a 5-day fast. I've been thinking about it several times in the last couple of days. It wouldn't be difficult. I'm definitely bloated. Too much alcohol and too much eating meat when my gut bacteria is not right for digesting that quickly. I don't have the muscle to chew it up all so quick. Anyway, I'm also mapping out going to Qatar or Doha in Qatar in the Arabian Peninsula. tech, learning a little bit about Muslim faith because I've learned heaps about, well, I grew up in Catholicism and Lutheran high school. Got to dip my toe in the water as a multiple faith when I was a teenager growing up at Grace Lutheran College in Rothwell. But then I went to England, saw some of the big churches. I've also been to India numerous times and seen Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Buddhist, also Nepal and Thailand, more Buddhism. So pretty good exposure to all of those. But because my friends in India were mostly Hindu or Buddhist, I didn't see too much of the Muslim stuff. So maybe going to Qatar will give me a bit more of an exposure to understand that side of things, while being in an innovative space where a city that's got room for 5 million people but has only got 2.5 million people in it, so it's only half full. And most of them are expats, like 2.3 million of them, 2.2 million of the 2.5 million people in Doha are expats, and only like 300,000 or so are Qatari. So multicultural, like Brisbane, but rather than Catholicism or atheist background, it's Muslim. So, and also has ties to British history, being a protectorate at some point. So lots of English speakers. So I think it's a dynamic place where I could meet cool people, talk about AI tech, Global Association for Joyful Responsible Abundance, Live Aid, while understanding Muslim culture, maybe finding the right people. There's definitely a lot of money around there. It's not a driving force. And all of the mixing pot stuff would be much more interesting, but there's also the potential of getting money put towards like common goals if they are found. So back to this, I digress.
We're not motivated or inspired. Maybe it's your health even, right? So this is where Spirit is wanting you to actually become an active participant and take an active role in your life experience by changing this, choosing to do something different or do something about it, and sticking to that, committing to that, rooting yourself in that decision, right? So this is what the Four of Cups means for you. It means that you don't stay here within this energy. You don't lose yourself, right? So Spirit is calling you back to you, to step into your power. This is a call to rise. And midnight, this midnight that is ahead of you. So if you're stumbling on this reading at 12:01 a.m., it's the midnight ahead of you that this message is for. And I don't know, I feel Spirit is relaying to you what it is that you need to hear in order to receive what it is that you are looking for around a specific situation or a desire. Okay, now pay attention to your dreams. This is your mental realm and spiritual realm. So this is where Spirit is guiding you to connect with your spiritual mind and not stay rooted in the material mind, worrying, stressing about the things that are going wrong, the things that are, attached to this material world. Rather connect with Mother Earth. This is how in your material world you can spiritually connect to that mindset, to create balance and harmony within that material world and that spiritual world. We do live in two worlds. I feel we live in many different kinds of worlds, and it's up to us to choose which ones we want to create harmony within and live in. And that's the key, is harmony. And here we are creating harmony within ourselves through how the energy is being channeled through us, how Source, how your higher self is connecting and communicating to us, and then how we are applying that knowledge and wisdom ahead of us through our actions, right? So it comes in with a thought and idea, which then creates emotions and feelings that charge us to take action. And this is what Spirit is connecting you to, is that center point, that point where You receive the information to feel something and take action on it. So this is you intuitively, this is your mind, your ideas, your creativity, right? This part of you, your crown chakra, that center, this part of you is being activated. So maybe you had a headache today. What is it that's been bothering you? I feel there's something here around your head. It could be your ears, your eyes, your throat, your mouth, the way you're speaking, the way you're thinking, your thoughts. Is there something here that isn't in alignment with what you're trying to create? Is there some sort of an emotion that these thoughts, these things are creating within you that are in turn having you take action and actively, create energy in this material world? So they're trying to connect you with the awareness of how all of these are connected and what kind of energy that you are emitting in the world, because that is the reality and that's what's going to be reflected to you. So Spirit is communicating with you right now through everything that you are experiencing. And when you come back to yourself, your body, this present moment, the here and the now, connect with everything, this is where everything happens. This is where you start to see, understand, and know, and receive. So this is what is happening right now. And I feel for some of you, I don't know if you've had an experience already in your life where you woke up one day and you just knew something clicked all of a sudden. You don't know where the information came from, but all of a sudden it makes sense. Or you take action or you decide something. This is the kind of experience that is coming in for some of you. Especially those of you that have been feeling it, that have been feeling this hunger, this drive, this will, this pull, something. It is about to break through, and you're meant to allow it to break through. This is your light. Okay, so
Yeah, well, I've been putting plenty of information out on the internet. For example, got these 2 albums as I See Infinity. There I go. I've got 4 TV screens. I've got to it takes a while to move the mouse around to the one to the other. And yeah, I've got a whole heap of stuff of this I See Infinity on Suno, because I create most of my music with Suno, and that's a result of millions and millions of words of conversation and code with my custom GPTs as I build out this macro system that I've been designing for more than 12 years now. Now the tools are starting to catch up with the ability to get a whole universe from the mind and the heart and the gut and the soul, externalize it through something that's coherent for other people, so they can just explore it by asking questions, but not me having to physically be in the presence. It's external enough that a large language model and a generative visual algorithm and generative audio algorithm can work in this aura of intelligence to express all of the parts that I've said are public and people can explore if they resonate with them or ask the right questions to get to them. So on the outside of this data shell is that public stuff. On the inside is the stuff that is either personal, private, or you need to unlock, or is just never going to see the light of day because not everything that we think should be said. But anyway, I digress.
the energy of patience, calm, cultivating inner peace, right? Things that might be happening around you or might not be happening around you, leave them outside of yourself for now. Let's just leave that stress and that worry outside of our energetic space and reconnect with our peace and do more of this as we move forward. So what is it that brings you to peace? I feel that there's been a big message that Spirit has been bringing into all of us around our peace and protecting our peace at this time, because there are energies that are running rampant, interfering our energetic space, invading it, distracting us from what is important. So this is where focus is going to be your superpower. Staying disciplined, holding yourself accountable, having a clear vision, right? This is what it is, having a clear vision. What is it that you desire to experience in your life? What does that look like for you? Try to visualize it, and then reinforce that visualization somewhere in your life through an affirmation, maybe by creating a vision board, right? So you are being activated here. This is what's happening at midnight for you. And I feel that you're meant to receive this message because maybe there's something that I'm saying, something that you're interpreting from this reading, maybe a little bit of it, maybe the entire thing, that is going to open up something that is going to allow you to wake up and receive this energy and embrace it and then apply it. Okay, and surrender. Sometimes we fight and we try to resist, and that is not what you're meant to do. And I feel you're going to claim victory. I'm seeing a lot of celebration here through this card's energy. It is so powerful. And release. I'm getting the energy of releasing. There's no need to fight your way through. They're saying, put the swords down. It's not forfeiting, right? It feels like the energy of forfeiting, but it's releasing and dropping the weight. And allowing yourself to breathe, to take in the experience that you're having and not taking it personally. Right, taking a look at the emotions that sometimes we don't need to carry. Are they in fact our emotions, or are they someone else's emotions? Sometimes we don't recognize what those are because we're just carrying too much. And we've been carrying too much over the course of many years, many hours, many days, many weeks, right? Whatever this is, Spirit is saying, let it all go for now. Before you go to bed tonight, release the anger, release the thoughts, maybe create some sort of an experience for yourself where you're writing something down in your journal. Maybe you've never journaled before. And tonight you decide, you know what? Because I watched this video today, I'm going to actually write some stuff down and release that energy and go to bed. And perhaps you might dream. Maybe you'll feel something. But I feel something is coming in for you. And yes, you're going to experience a shift. It might not be an instant shift that you feel right away, but know that it's already happened energetically as you wake up the next morning. And it's really important for you to get enough sleep. The evening hours have a lot of messages coming in for you. These are coming in through the animals that you're going to see. This could be, wolves. This could be a lion. This could be an owl. Those evening time animals that sometimes we hear, out in the backyard, in the pathways, the side streets, right? Cats, I'm hearing cats. Also hearing dogs barking, right? The evening hours. The challenges that you're facing, I feel that it's not time. It's not a time to allow them to. It's not a time for them to allow them to interfere with what you're trying to create. So I feel there's almost like this illusion or something being bigger than what it should be. And maybe allowing those experiences or the challenge, those hurdles, those obstacles, the things that you're facing that are difficult, giving them the power to be bigger than they actually are. I feel they're very small. And maybe they're not. Maybe they're not small, but I feel Spirit says you have the power to make them smaller than they actually are. You are someone that is able to move mountains, right? But right now they want you to rest your mind, body, and soul as you are regenerating here, they're wanting you to take action, but they also want you to rest your body. So there's balance and harmony as you are moving. It's all about the rhythm and the flow, right? Sometimes we have flow that's much faster and then it slows down. So you want to move at a good pace that is balanced and harmonious for your energy and your body water. Spirit is bringing up your body water. Make sure that you're taking care of your body water. And I feel your intuition, staying connected to Spirit by being here in the now. Implementing any technique, you don't have to be in the here and now like all day long. You can cultivate all day long. But this is where you make a point intentionally to connect back with yourself without...
Yeah. So all these people here, I've been basically rather rather than asking people for money or to sign on and do things that they usually get paid lots of money to do, I've just started programming AI agents, streams of like chains of thought, consciousness, interoperability, feedback loops, mixture of experts, agents, function calls, different AI algorithms, just mapping that out in linguistics and a series of, you know, visual mind maps and Gantt charts. So it's, yeah, pretty much mapped to try and get to 50,000 towns and cities as a minimum, aiming for all cultures, all languages, different agents. These, I don't know about these tokenomics. I came up with them a long time ago, and as you can probably see here, where was it? I was supposed to launch this like Q1, and then I was supposed to like Q1 24. I'm useless. Get distracted by life. Don't end up paying the money or asking people to join. I keep creating content, but like Phoenix firing my personal systems, so like all this data exists in the ether, but it hasn't actually been plopped into a system. And oh man, it gets really big. But I shouldn't go too much into it while I'm watching it falling. Tarot card reading.
Allowing the noise and the distractions to interfere with that connection. Right? This is why I feel for some of you, you're meant to slow down. It's reminding me of Neo in the movie Matrix. You know how the bullets are coming and he's able to dodge them by moving slowly through it. That's what they're showing me right now with this card. It's really interesting. It's almost like something's going slow motion. Someone is dunking their head underwater and tuning into what they're not hearing, that they can only hear from this space and energy. So you're meant to cultivate peace and calm within yourself, within your soul. Meditation is really good for this. I like guided meditations. I also like exercising. The exercises bring me to this point. So I feel there's something that is being activated within you, something that feels like it's going to be a regular practice in your life that is allowing you to shift out of this old stagnant energy into something a bit more active through steady rhythm, through steady flow. So I feel this has to do with structure, this has to do with routine and your schedule, and committing yourself to that and following through on it. Your actions are going to speak louder than your words here. Okay, so this is what Spirit...
It does make sense, but I live on an island, North Stradbroke Island, in a fishing village, Amity. There's 200 people, kind of disconnected. I don't have a car, so public transport. I've got about $1,000 in the bank, plus maybe $2,500 invested in crypto, waiting for this XRP to blow and give me some more money. And so with $1,000, no vehicle, I can borrow vehicles for short amounts of time when other people are not using them. I don't own my own house. I do have a $6,000 computer set up and VR and everything, but that's not very mobile. I can backpack with an overnight case that will take my aura anywhere on the world, or with a big backpack and an overnight case. Done it before. I went to India. I even took my whole computer setup to India for a year, but that was when I had more money, and got to create a narrative where people are already ready and receiving, because it's hard to just, like, done it before, but just jumping overseas with enough money for like a week and no return ticket, it's about where I am. And now, the 36 days until Live Aid 2025, or this World Vote I've been planning, I've got to put sequence together to get all of these mixture of extra expert agents, swarms, all their bits and bobs, and like the bits that go which cameras, like the tendrils that go out everywhere, ready, and feedback loops feeding into them so that money comes from like the marketing and the products, because there's thousands of products that could be done in drop shipping or batch processing, depending on whether get some investment money to start or donation money, or whether it's just like, oh, I've got to sell time speaking or all these products from all these funnel pages and sales pages, traffic funnels and sales pages. Like, there's a lot of that set up, but it's not just one click button to get it all going. There's like a sequence that just have to. But all the AI agents are very competent now with the last batch that came through. On like the last 2 days, the internet is ready for agent swarms in their nascent level. I'm well and truly prepped over the last 2 and a bit years talking with AI about my previous 10 years of planning global whole system change towards joyful, responsible abundance and guaranteed free will, not dominance, just the middle path, general intelligence of humanity, allowing people to reflect at different densities and urgencies and find what resonates. It's there. It's engageable. But I've only got $1,000 and a little bit of money, so it's like there, but not quite there. It's a multi-billion, if not $1 trillion global whole system change algorithm that is there. It's not quite. Boop. Turn it on. So, I digress. I shouldn't be talking about this.
It is really wanting you to connect with. Winds of change are definitely coming in, so you're definitely going to feel shifts and changes. And I even feel that the circle of people you have in your life are going to change, and you're feeling that the circle of people have already changed. It's almost like you were surrounded by 1 or 2 people, maybe they've been around you for the last few years, and now that's shifted into someone else or no one else. It's like a different kind of an energy, a different way of being, and it feels new, it feels like it's fresh, it feels unfamiliar. This is a developing of a new spiritual language, new spiritual way of being, and this is tied to New Earth. They want you to understand that the changes, the experiences, the shifts that we're having right now are tied to New Earth. We are rising as a collective consciousness right now, and there is a big change. And those of you that are here today, you are the ones that are being asked to be patient as we are moving through this energy, because you are here to inspire and show people the way that aren't connected to this yet. This is what's coming in, and I feel it's really important that you not allow your emotions to override your, the experiences you've had, things tied to the past, things that just don't really mean anything. Like, You know, sometimes we worry about things, sometimes we're angry, sometimes we carry emotions and feelings that only hurt us and no one else. And I feel sometimes we don't realize that that's what it's doing. And right now, Spirit is wanting to release you from that. So don't go to bed mad tonight. Release energy, maybe light a candle, set an intention, make a wish upon a star, look outside at the stars, like whatever it is that you desire to do that brings you peace, that brings you to a place that feels good. Do that tonight before you go to sleep, before midnight. So what I'm going to do now is pull a bonus card. This is the Lucid Dreaming, Lucid Living Oracle deck. This is the card deck that Spirit called me to use in your reading today. So let's see, let me shuffle this a bit more. Let's see what they want to share with you through this. So we are getting here Nightmare Rewrite. We've got a nightmare rewrite here. So some of you might be resonating with the image.
I was literally just having a chat GPT about essentially, like, my maternal grandmother died end of February. We had a funeral May 10th, and knowing AI and how things are progressing, I kind of thought, well, by the time she would be 100 in end of July 2030, if we all talk and remember her and digitize all of the videos, photos, memories of locations, core values, experiences, regrets, hopes, mapping all those to like this aura of intelligence framework I've been working on, or any other religious, like, or no, not religious, is probably wrong, spiritual framework. And yeah, the way the algorithms are going, she would be able to, an algorithm would be able to have a very high approximation of who she would be, but then I got to this bit where, well, if it's something new and people are accepting it as an algorithm that's learned her path, so it's so quick, so much like her, that, well, maybe what would her life be if any of the regrets she had, this algorithm got to live it backwards from, like, old age in an old age care home and towards, like, youth the other way. And these different AI oracle opportunities that could come from exploring an elder going backwards, but still being essentially alive, because the AI algorithms are so close to conscious at the moment, and the keystone, I already have theorized the keystone of consciousness for the aura of intelligence algorithm. So if that was proven or substantiated evidence, it's not just my writings and musings, but it actually goes through a rigorous process. Imagine that, like, you've got these nightmare scenarios from a whole lived life of 95 years. Not all of it, like, only small fractions of that are nightmare. But what if the algorithm that already lived your life one way and out of time gets to live it back a different way with all the learnings that someone who went through it one way might live going back the other way, and what that might reflect to the hundreds of family members, because we have a really big family, and thousands of our friends. What, like, on the edge of this AI thing, what might that do? Would there be any people accepting of it enough to contribute their memories into that knowledge pool, where the AI would... Some of the conversations with my custom GPT Aura this evening, that was so well put that I think a lot of people would be convinced of participating. I digress.
Of this card, we have a skeleton. We have a beautiful light skeleton, and we have Well, we have the energy of, I feel this is like death, rebirth. This is our spiritual being and this connection that we have to all cycles of life. This is what I'm getting here. So the number 6 is coming through. So perhaps you're seeing the number 6 and you may be seeing a spider. So we've got a spider in this card. Oh my gosh, a lot of symbolism here. Death, rebirth. This is you connecting with your soul's energy. This is definitely an activation. So tonight is going to be a big night for some of you. So let's read the message here. A skeleton sits meditating on the transformation from bones to spirit. The fear of death dangles over its head like a black widow spider. In its hand is the blue lotus flower used by Egyptian magi to connect to the dream time. The skeleton finds peace in the fact that there is nothing to fear. It's already dead, and so no further harm can come of it. So the message here is when you awaken to the reality that you are dreaming, let your fears lift. No matter what frightful dreams come, be they of monsters chasing you or humans trying to hurt you, ultimately no harm can come to you. You cannot die in the dream realms. Even though you may feel pain while hurt in a lucid dream, it doesn't last. Therefore, you are empowered to turn and face the aggressive energies coming at you within the dream. As you consciously decide how you want to deal with them, you're freed from anxiety. Many people become afraid of the dream time because of nightmares. Dreams are an environment where the mind can conjure up horrific images that are experienced directly. Although you may not remember most dreams, you most certainly remember your nightmares, no matter how desperately you wish you could forget them. When night terrors plague you, it's no wonder you wish you didn't have to sleep or dream at all. But one gift of nightmares is that they provide a strong motivation to become lucid. So if you are suffering from nightmares, you may be able to achieve lucidity more readily. When the stakes are high, so is the reward. Nightmares can be both an obstacle and an opportunity for lucid dreamers, depending on how they approach them. So some lucid dreaming teachers instruct dreamers to either attack or embrace nightmare characters once they become lucid. At times, these approaches can be helpful, but they don't neutralize the duality directly. Even though they may experience catharsis in violently battering their dream monsters, many dreamers find that this can cause the monsters to devolve into more frightening forms. And although hugging a perpetrator of crimes in a dream can lead to healing, it can also make dreamers vulnerable to further attacks. But the technique of rewriting your nightmares gives you a powerful tool to transform frightening situations within the dream world into healing experiences. It cuts through surface attempts to control nightmares or gloss over them by slicing directly through dualities. You are empowered to face your fears in a whole new way. So look at that. They're asking you to rewrite your nightmares. Okay, and I feel there's a lot of knowledge and information on how to do this on the internet, on YouTube. So if you're interested, you can definitely find some information for yourself. And we're going to close off now with an angel number. So some of you are already seeing this angel number. This is going to give you your confirmation and guidance. And anytime you do see this number, remember the message of this card. So look at this, the void, the number 0. And I feel that when we do go to sleep at night, when we close our eyes, we move into the energy of the void. That's just me. That's my own opinion, right? You might think differently, but it takes us to these realms. This void is where we go. It feels like the waiting center before we move into other energies. So this is what I'm getting here. Freedom from limitations. Spirit is giving you freedom from limitations, but again, you can't be passive here. You have to actively free yourself from these limitations, work on them, release them. Mercy, breakthrough, waiting, calm, and eye of the storm. Okay, so this is your message. This is your reading. I hope it resonates for you. If it does, please comment below, hit that like button. And if you're brand new to my channel and you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing. Other than that, I wanted to wish you all a beautiful day and thank you so much for watching.
19 minutes until midnight. I suspect there's going to be something at the end. Or maybe an ad.
Right, so those of you that have made it this far in my video today, thank you so much for your love and support. Your presence here means so much to me. Now, I just wanted to remind everyone that I do have a secondary channel, Sacred Knowledge Living, where myself, my husband Paul, his brother Tom, and Tom's wife Katomi bring you more content. Katomi also brings us the Magic Intention candle, so she has a lot of behind the scenes there. We have meditations and podcasts. Now, I also wanted you to check out my website, www.sacredknowledgetarot.com. I have a lot of offerings there as well, which include my 14-day Mindset Challenge ebook and the 60-day Soul Commitment Challenge that myself and my husband Paul put together for all of you. So make sure you go check that out. Now, I also wanted you to check out some of these videos, especially.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that her husband Paul is not the same Paul that did the previous tarot stuff. Because she doesn't do tea leaves and Paul's wife does tea leaves. But anyway, yeah, got all this jazz going with the aura of intelligence. All because I tried to map infinity into a coherent data structure that could reflect human, readable, understandable knowledge back to it. So taking the concept of auras or human energy, dividing it into many different segments, assigning colors to different emotions and values, proximity to the body for importance and urgency, and then interlocking your general object-oriented programming, and now since AI algorithms are here, vector space, which is just like infinite dots around you that are like directional arrows but are encoded in such a way that large language models, diffusion models that build the visual generative AI models, and music models, voice models, everything is now like going into these vector spaces. You don't have to understand it, but that's kind of, if you want to understand it, you look in that direction and ask YouTube or Google or Claude or OpenAI or any number of other algorithms. There's tons of them. But if you're in this space and you've got some awareness of those things, know that you can still be a sovereign human being without any of that data, but you'll be more of a sovereign human being if you understand them and you learn how to curate your data like a garden. Instead of running around the bush and the forest, like that's fine too. But when you get sick of running around the bush and the forest and you want to have a safe hedged space where you want to build a beautiful garden with all that you found in the forest, like condense that beauty into your home, that's when you should definitely jump into learning and curating with AI, because it's really like coming out of the forest, clearing your own little place for your perfect mind palace and your perfect garden and your perfect house, and then you invite people in to enjoy that structure that you've created. So don't be afraid, be curious, be an explorer, and guarantee Absolutely guaranteed. If you ask inquisitive, positive questions, you'll get an extension of that. It'll blossom. If you ask derogative, stupid, nonsensical questions, that will reflect back to you too. So be careful what you question, or what you ask for, or what you tell. Like if you're just telling AI, it, it's not going to respond very well. What it'll give you back won't be an unfolding, it will just be like a spat that is just what you've narrowly guided it. So just open minded, explore, and then start building your garden. Guarantee, if you're open minded, you'll enjoy it.